The Nuggets have unfinished business against the Timberwolves. How will they respond? Let's find out. You're watching CS 105.1, where I talk about sports with good vibes. Let's get it. How's it going, everyone, and welcome. I'm CS Chandler, here for another take of Nuggets basketball. So tonight's game was not a good game at all. It was not even a great night, to be honest, overall, because halfway through it, my apartment complex apparently caught on fire. So I had to evacuate. I didn't even get to see the second half of the game and really write down notes and everything. I was still kind of having it on my phone and everything, but I wasn't able to put down notes or anything. So you're gonna get a second or like one half of a review of the game tonight. But I am good. My apartment's good. Someone lit a fire in a dumpster in the area, so that when I came back home, there was smoke bellowing from the garage. It was pretty crazy. Smelled a little bit like marshmallows. But this game, though, the Nuggets versus the Timberwolves, game 3 of the season series against them, and man, there's just something about the Timberwolves that just strikes Nuggets fans wrong. I mean, they are so cocky. They almost are as bad as Laker fans. Some of them are Lakers fans, just riding the wave of the fact that their team can't beat us, but the Timberwolves can. And just also Ant Edwards, I cannot stand his arrogance and the way that he just kind of conducts himself. Overall, I don't want him to be the face of the league either. Like, he doesn't deserve to be the face of the league, to be honest. I would much rather have Wemby or Jokić or even SGA. You know, they are way better people to be the face of the league than Ant. Can't stand that guy. But the Nuggets did take on the Timberwolves tonight, and this was the first time that they faced the Timberwolves in Denver since Game 7 of the second round in the 2024 playoffs. Going into the match, AG was still ruled out from that damn calf strain. I swear, if his calf was healthy the entire freaking season, we would not be having these difficult issues that we've been having with every single team pretty much that we've gone up against. This would be a completely different Nuggets. I 100% think that we would be more of a contender. We would be up there more even with the Celtics. But he was still ruled out, and obviously you still have Julian Strawther ruled out. And the Timberwolves were completely healthy, unfortunately. This was the first game back that they've had every single player healthy. So Rudy Gobert, who had been out for several months with issues, he is finally back. And of course, he had to be back against Denver, because how could he miss a chance to go against Denver? Timberwolves love playing Denver. That's all they live for. They don't care about any other team. When you watch them, they're horrible against every other team. And yet when they play the Nuggets, they play like it's the championship. We are their championship. It's really annoying. So the starting lineup tonight was Nikola, Jokić, Jamal Murray, MPJ, Christian Brown, and Russell Westbrook. The Nuggets were wearing those white jerseys that they like to wear so much this season, and the Timberwolves were wearing their dark blue jerseys. And the final score, Timberwolves win 115 to 95. 20-point blowout. Man, that sucks. What happened in the game? Well, like I said, I'll get to as much as I can from what I did take notes of. So the Nuggets controlled the tip, but Murray missed a floater, and allowing the Timberwolves to capitalize as Conley knocked down a floater of his own for the first points of the game. Jokić went to the line, but missed both free throws, and the Timberwolves extended their lead early with a 3 from Randall, and then a bucket from McDaniels to go up by 7. The Nuggets then finally got on the board at the 9-minute mark with Jamal, who found Brody for a layup. McDaniels then responded with a powerful slam, pushing the Timberwolves' lead to 9 and forcing Malone to take the first timeout of the game. Out of the break, though, MPJ converted a 3-point play to cut the lead to 7, and Jokić took over with back-to-back dunks. Awesome dunks, too. He even wind up and slammed it down. You could tell that he doesn't like the Timberwolves either. And then he also followed up with a 3 of his own. Pickett then added to that with a 3 of his own, trimming the deficit to 4 and forcing the Timberwolves to take a timeout. And that was probably the closest that we were ever in this game to taking over, because every single step of the way, and Chris Finch has consistently done this. He is the best at ruining the momentum that the Nuggets have. Malone later challenged an offensive foul on Jokić, but was unsuccessful. I don't even know why he tried to challenge that one, especially in the first quarter. He's so hell-bent on saving his challenges for when he really needs them, and then occasionally he will use them right in the beginning of the game. I would have saved that one for sure, especially against the Timberwolves team. You got to save those because they're going to be a lot of questionable calls throughout the entire game. So I would definitely have saved them more down the stretch. But he used it early, unsuccessful. Despite the Nuggets' late push, the Timberwolves still took over the first quarter, 34-26. And then the second quarter started. The Timberwolves opened with Randle drawing a foul and making 1 of 2 free throws. The Nuggets struggled early, giving up 2 possessions as the Timberwolves extended their lead to 11. Frustration mounted, though, with Malone, who was hit with a technical foul after a lot of missed calls on Jamal. He was getting mauled. He was 100% getting fouled all the time, but the refs were apparently blind to Jamal getting fouled. I don't know what it is about Timberwolves and Jamal, but they just love to gang up on him. You don't see that when they're playing SGA. They do not play as hard, but against Jamal, it's like they have some kind of score to sell or something like that. I don't understand it. But the T-Wolves were also called for a defensive 3-second violation, allowing Jamal to get his first point of the game at the line on a technical free throw. Ridiculous. In the second quarter. That's when he first got his first point. The lead stretched to 13 before Brody sparked some momentum, helping the Nuggets, cutting it down to 10. And then CB got on the board with his first point. Crazy, right? Jamal and CB hadn't scored at all in the first quarter, and really up until midway and late into the second quarter that they finally score. So he got on the board with a jumper, and then Randle responded with a step-back shot, making the T-Wolves the first to 50. Brody continued attacking the rim, finishing strong with a layup. Despite their efforts, though, the T-Wolves still won the second quarter, 23-22. So close that they were able. That's the closest that they were able to actually win a quarter, and the Timberwolves went into the half on top, 57-48. And so then this is where obviously I didn't really get a chance to write down any more notes. So just know that the third quarter, the T-Wolves won that as well, 32-27, and then the fourth quarter, Malone played the starters right until about the 5-minute mark of the fourth quarter. Then he finally pulled them, got the reserves in, who actually showed a little bit of fire. I know Hunter Tyson knocked down 2 3-pointers because they were actually in the deficit of 27 or 26 or something like that. They were able to knock it down to 20, and then they even got it down to I think it was 17, and then the Timberwolves responded with a 3 of their own to get it back to a 20-point lead, and that's what it ended up obviously being. So Timberwolves still won the fourth quarter, 26-20. Final score, Timberwolves again freaking won 115-95. I hate you, Timberwolves. I hate you so much. And I just want to say real quick too is that I wore this jersey hoping that Jamal would have an amazing night, like a revenge tour against the Timberwolves, and he did not show up. He had a bad night. So, but we're going to try to keep it high. So we're going to get to stats after this. As a cinematographer, photographer, and now a podcaster, I do believe lighting is everything. And if you're serious about creating dynamic content, you need to check out Nanlite. They're all about precision and control. Whether it's soft, natural lighting, or vibrant colors, Nanlite gives you full flexibility to set the mood for any scene. From compact LEDs to powerful softboxes, Nanlite has light solutions that fit every setup. It's ideal for photographers, like myself, videographers, like myself, and creators who want to pro-grade quality right out on their fingertips. With Nanlite, you're lighting like a pro every time. And we're back. All right, so stats here. We have Christian Braun played 32 minutes tonight. He did not have a good game at all. He had 6 points. Just 6 points. One of the very few games of this season where he had under double-digit point-wise. He had 4 rebounds, 3 for 10 from field, 0 for 2 from 3, 0 for 2 from free throws, 0 turnovers, 2 personal fouls, was a minus 16. Michael Porter Jr. also had a horrible night, 32 minutes as well, 10 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 for 10 as well from field, 0 for 3 from 3, 4 for 5 from free throws, 1 turnover, 1 personal foul, was a minus 31. Jokić played 38 minutes. He had 34 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal, 13 for 23 from field, 2 for 6 from 3, 6 for 8 from free throws, 3 turnovers, 3 personal fouls, was a minus 24. Westbrook played 33 minutes tonight, had 19 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 3 steals, 8 for 12 from field, 1 for 4 from 3, 2 for 2 from free throws, 4 personal turnovers, 2 personal fouls, was a minus 22. Jamal Murray he played 35 minutes, had 12 points, 5 rebounds, 8 assists, 1 steal, 4 for 5 from field, 1 for 5 from 3, 3 for 3 from free throws. He had 0 turnovers, 2 personal fouls, was a minus 19. One thing I will say positively is that despite how aggressive that they defend Jamal, he didn't have 1 single turnover tonight. So that is, I feel like, a little bit of an upgrade or an improvement, if you will. Because if you remember last year's playoffs, he had a lot of turnovers because they were just hounding him, and now he didn't have any. So he also didn't really have many points either. So there's also that. And then you don't really need to get into the bench because the bench didn't really do anything. Like, you had Tyson with 8 points, and he scored the most amount of points out of any of the bench, and that was only in the last 5 minutes of the game. Pickett had 3 points. PJ Hall had 2. So, Payne Watson was a minus 11. He did have 1 block, so that's nice. But yeah, a lot of just bad low effort plays from the Nuggets. So overall, we had 42 rebounds. They had 48. We had 20 assists. They had 31. We had 9 steals. They had 7. We had 4 blocks. They had 5. We shot 40 from field. They shot 47. We shot 23 from 3. They shot 42. We shot 72% from free throws. They shot 75. We shot 10, we had 10 turnovers. They had 15. We had 16 personal fouls. They had 16 as well. So as you can see, just from the numbers wise, this was definitely an easier game to have won if they just tried and had effort and maybe some gas in the tank. But we'll get into the takeaways later, and I'll get more into what I think. But this definitely wasn't such an uphill climb as they made it out to be had they have actually gone into this with a different mindset. So we'll get into big takeaways after this. Hey everyone, let's talk sound quality. Imagine having pro-level audio that's easy to set up, flexible, and sounds incredible. That's the Rode PodMic USB. It's got both USB and XLR connections, so whether you're recording solo at home or in a full studio setup, you're covered. And get this, the built-in DSP effects let you adjust the sound with 0 lag. You get that deep, smooth broadcast tone right out of the box. It's versatile, powerful, and basically makes your voice sound like pure gold. And we're back. All right, so my takeaways for this game is I don't understand why the Timberwolves are such a difficult team for the Nuggets to win against. The Timberwolves are such a bad team this year and a soft team at that, but when they play against the Nuggets, they play the most aggressive game of their lives. They play the Nuggets like the Nuggets play the Lakers, essentially. It's difficult to tell if the Nuggets just used everything in the tank on their win against OKC or what, but now they are 0 for 3 in this season series against the Timberwolves, and they've lost the last 5 consecutive games against them. Jamal can definitely guard SGA amazingly, but Ant has him scratching his head. I don't know why he was even matched against Ant a lot of the times. For those who didn't watch the game, Malone put Jamal on Ant. I don't know why. That should have 100% been Brody, not Jamal. Because Jamal definitely, unfortunately, cannot guard Ant, but he can guard SGA. So, also, I don't understand why Malone insisted on playing small in this game. A game in which Minnesota has consistently shown they are the more aggressive team, and you already are down one of their most aggressive players in AG. So why not play DeAndre Jordan in this game? DJ fights hard for the rebounds and for the dunks. A lot of the Nuggets don't fight as hard, so you needed someone big too. You needed someone because they have Naz Reid. They still have Gobert. A lot of their guys are bigger guys. Like, why not fight hard against them with a more aggressive player? I don't understand why he went so small against this team, who, again, is not a good team. Yeah, they have 5 wins. Good for them. It's not good enough to get them out of the play-in. They're going to be in the play-in, and they're going to lose and not even get into the playoffs, most likely. So I just don't understand why Malone chose to go that route. And this was definitely an obtainable win. Like I've said, we have them beat in every other way, especially the way we've been playing. We've been playing out a much better effort than we have the last 2 games against them. And somehow we just let this one slip through our hands. Apparently, Malone is giving it the excuse that they are just exhausted from the back-to-back against OKC, which I get it, but you're all in this, you can't just throw a game from being tired, especially one against a division rival of the Timberwolves. Has this been like throwing the game against maybe like Milwaukee or whatever? Okay, I get it. But this is the Timberwolves we're talking about. We can't lose to the Timberwolves, just as you better not lose against the Lakers on Friday. So what did this loss do for the Nuggets? Well, the Grizzlies won tonight. So they are now on a 4-game winning streak. And because of that, and because we lost, they are now the 2nd seed, and we are the 3rd seed. We are tied with them. But the reason why we have the 3rd seed and they have the 2nd seed is because they have 2 more home game wins than we do. So that's the essential breakdown of why we're no longer the 2nd seed. But hopefully on Friday that would change. So also OKC won tonight against the Celtics. So that makes even more of a case for SGA getting MVP, unfortunately. I don't like it. I'm sure you don't either if you watch this as a Nuggets fan. And so the next, and then also below us is now the Lakers with half a game behind us. They face tomorrow the Milwaukee Bucks, who lost in a great game, actually, yesterday. I watched them play the Pacers, and Halliburton had that amazing game winner 3 and 1 to win that game. That was awesome. But now, probably for the only time this season, I'm going to be rooting for the Bucks to win tomorrow. Probably, if you're a Nuggets fan, you'll be rooting for them too. So, the next games. So, as I said already, Friday we're going to be facing the Lakers, and then that's actually the first game of another back-to-back, because on the 15th, on Saturday, we face the Wizards. And so those are 2 games that we cannot lose against. And then on Monday, we go ahead and face the Warriors. We're off on a road game there to face the Warriors. And then we face the Lakers in LA next Wednesday, and then we're back, I believe. No, and then we go up to Portland to face the Trailblazers and wrap up that series. So, we have I think the second most difficult last stretch of the season in the Western Conference, and it definitely shows. And if you had asked me last week which games I would worry about the most, the two that I would have already said is the first game against OKC and the Timberwolves. Those are the only two that I was really worried about. Yes, the Lakers are much better now that they have Luka, but it just also kind of works in our favor, the fact that now LeBron is out, but you still, I wouldn't put it past Luka to do an amazing job. He can always he's kind of, a roller coaster. He has some amazing games and he has some horrible games. He doesn't have the same effect as Jokić does, but he is still a player to be concerned about if you're playing against them. So now it's just more up to can they build off of this loss and actually come back with a strong winning streak to kind of, reclaim the second seed, put them in a good spot to then face whoever in the first round. But before we get out of here, I wanted to kind of go off of what the Inside the NBA on TNT did last night. They did this stats madness bracket where they put a bunch of stats from the history of NBA and they kind of broke them down into the best ones. And they completely had Jokic's 30-20-20 stat lose in the first round. So they said also for people to do their own bracket or whatever. So I decided, you know what? I am going to do my own bracket, and this would be my bracket. So first round, if you say, if you go down the list on the right there on the top, you have Kobe's 81-point game versus Lillard's 71-point game. Obviously, Kobe wins that one, so he advances to the next round. The next matchup is Jokic's 30-20-20 game versus Giannis's 50-14 game. I don't know why Inside the NBA chose Giannis's game. Obviously, Jokić wins that one, hands down. 30-20-20 is amazing, so that advances. And then further down, you have Klay's 60-point game with only 11 dribbles versus Luka's 60-point triple-double. That one definitely, for me, advances forward. So you have Luka advancing there. And then the next one is two different stats by David Robinson. It was his quadruple double against his 71-point game. And for me, it's the quadruple double that, why would it not be the quadruple double? That's crazy. So that goes up there. And then on the left side, you have Wilt's 100-point game and then Harden's 60-point triple double. And so out of that one, obviously 100 points. That's just insane as well. So that advances. And then you have Magic's 42-15-7 versus Baylor's 61-22. For me, Magic goes ahead. If you ask me if I like the Lakers, the only time in history of the NBA that I've actually liked the Lakers was when it was the Magic Lakers. That was the only time. I digged Kobe, but I still wasn't a huge Lakers fan. I was more of the Magic era. So going down from there, you have Russ's 20-20-20 game versus Giannis's 64-point game. And for me, the 20-20-20 Russ game advances. And then you have Jordan 63-point game versus Luka's 73-point game. And yeah, 73 is more than 63, but the way that Jordan did the 63 gets him the advance. So 100% Jordan wins that one. And then you have that against Russ's stat line. For me, again, Jordan, just the best. He is the GOAT for me. So Jordan advances there. And then the Wilt and Magic, Wilt for me advances there. And then on the other end, bottom portion there, Luka versus David Robinson. David Robinson wins, quadruple wins hands down. And then you have the Kobe versus Jokić stat there. And for me, not be a Nuggets fan if I didn't have Jokić winning all of it. So Jokić advances there. And then you have Jokić versus David Robinson and Wilt versus Jordan. For me, it would be Jordan. And then just because, when Wilt was playing, the league was not the way it was when Jordan was playing. It was not as many guys, not as many teams. So that for me it is an impressive stat line, but that's a reason why no other player has made 100 points since then, because it's just more difficult to be able to do that. So Jordan's 63-point game wins off of that. And then obviously the triple-double twice in a row in the same game is incredible. And so that advances for me. So then you would have Jordan versus Jokić. And I honestly think that Jokić wins just because I love my Nuggets and I love Jokić. So there you go. That's my stat madness or the bracket or whatever. If you want to do it, it's on Inside the NBA's Twitter account. You can grab that empty sheet there and do it yourself. Let me know what you think in the comments. And I hope this is all I got for this episode. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a like and subscribe. Share it out to your friends and family. And we'll be back on Friday. So you've been listening to CS 105.1, where I talk about sports with good vibes. We'll catch you on Friday.